Hey guys, this is GamerKill. Welcome back to Touhou, the Genius of Savros. Last time we finished off the gigantic 3-route grind. I don't know how that's gonna be edited because that was taken in about 2 or 3 different videos, so yeah, I'm just recording all of this to get this stupid stage out of the way because I hate it and it's dumb. There you go. So this time we have 3 separate bosses that we have to take on at the same time. If you lose to any one of these bosses, you have to do all of them over again. So yeah. Now, the way I'm gonna structure this, I think it might end up having shorter parts as a result, but because there are 3 separate bosses here, I've once again done a separate recording for the 3 different strategies that we shall be employing to take them out. And yeah, I'm gonna do them 1 boss per video. I have separate stuff already built up for it, but I'm going to just do it 1 at a time. So just so you know, this used to be translated, I'm sure. I don't know why this is not translated anymore, but whatever. When you go into a route, that is the order that you know, just like in Ante, the order that you go to the end of the stage in is the order that you will do the bosses in. But if you switch to the party again, you can freely move them around, so you can change the order however you please, but we're going to do it in the pseudo-intended order of Route A, Route B, Route C, because that is actually the order of luck-basedness, for lack of a better term, that I feel the bosses have. So basically, Route A's is the most luck-based, Route B's is the hardest, Route C's is the easiest and therefore best to do last. So that is that. I actually kind of explained that in the video stuff as well, because I've already pre-recorded those, but I don't care because that's how it goes. And yeah, we're gonna have separate parts of this, so let's go ahead and cut to Team A's explanation. Alright, so let's quickly go over Team A here, because this obviously is not what you would normally expect to see from a team. Unfortunately, no matter how you do it, Boss A is kind of the most luck-based of the group, no matter how you try and mitigate it, because the boss has an attack, 1000 Needles, that does literally 1000 damage if it doesn't get shielded, and one-shots everyone ever. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to it, but I kind of need the other attackers elsewhere. I could probably put Patchouli in here, but she would just die in 1 hit, and the boss does have some multi-target moves as well, so yeah, she would kind of not survive very long, so she's better spent elsewhere. The boss itself is weak against fire, which is why Moko is here, obviously. The Devil Circle formation, just so you know, if you don't remember, the one that we got from Mailing before. Couldn't think of her name for some reason, for smacking her in the face 256 times. This is actually the formation we got from that, so super offensive. And basically, Moko is just going to go ahead and Fujiyama Volcano every turn possible. That's pretty much the only thing that needs to be done. I do have a 0 turn cooldown on this now because of my growth tree stuff. There's physical skill cooldown on one of them, and there's there's another cooldown minus, I think it's elemental cooldown? Either way, it's at 0 turns, so I can use this every turn. Does about 4,000 to 4,500 damage every shot. It's pretty good. And then Sakuya, I'm going to be mostly using Private Square with her as much as possible as well. This will be the first time we've actually seen this used, but we'll see why shortly enough. So basic armaments here, as much damage out as possible, but an extra bomb just to be safe, and nobody else really needed this at all. And well, I guess I could have put it on IO, but that's besides the point. The paralysis is something that can happen from this boss, and poison is something that will happen as well. So we have immunity to poison, virtual immunity to paralysis. The stab resistance doesn't matter here. I could have probably put that on somebody else, but there isn't really anybody else that could equip this armor that faces stab attacks, so oh well. Same with Strike. Strike is not really used otherwise, so it's fine. The Dragon Shield's damage, breath damage reduction doesn't matter here. Breath is not really used in these fights at all, but a little bit more power, poison immunity, and paralysis resistance. Could maybe have put something else on with this here, but a 3-stage resistance has been enough in my test stuff, so yeah. Growth-wise, we have, where was the cooldown stuff? Physical skill cooldown here, that's where it is. Spell card cooldown is the other thing. So yeah, maxing out the Rebel Tree, you get to reduce all of your cooldowns by 2, which is really good. And of course, double attacking is still important, as you would expect. And the rest of the points to give as much survivability as possible. Could have maybe gone ahead and put it into shield defense, but the shield has to activate first, and it is only a 30-something% activation rate, so not particularly high. And for Sagia, because Sagia no longer needs the sword tree stuff, the boss is not a dragon, so Dragon Fang Strike is kind of wasted. The accuracy hasn't been an issue for me. I've been perfectly fine with the accuracy I had, and although it would be nice to have double hits on normal attacks, I do think when you're using Private Square you should try and max out the tree. The tree gives 45 attack, which is pretty good. Plus 2 bombs is great, although the bombs are not going to be necessary because the fight won't last long enough. But, you know, plus 2 bombs is always nice, and the duration plus 1 turn is why you need to max this tree. Normally Private Square only lasts 2 turns, but if you use it with this, it will last 3 turns, so obviously that is pretty good. So yeah, that's a very basic Team 1. As I said, it's kind of the most luck-based fight of the lot, because you've got to kind of hope that you don't die just outright. If you do have extra characters, maybe Aya here that you could use for trying to have an extra body against the Thousand Needles. But the problem is, if she gets hit, then she still dies regardless. So, I don't know, Aya's not a bad choice here, but Aya is more important in the next party to, at my current levels, to prevent that one from being too luck-based as well. So, yeah. So, going in with Route A, and we only have the 2 characters, as we've already just explained. And the Hakurai Shrine Maiden is not involved in this particular fight, I'm afraid. But this is Akame Chiaki, sorry. Can't even read, apparently. Yeah, Masters have basically ordered us to go get rid of, so they are... yeah, they're mates. We've already established this, right? But I guess the main characters did not know this. As with Aente, no matter who you use as your lead character, they will always have the exact same descriptions, so yeah, service is the main duty, but they can be yeah, sure. I don't know. Ordinary maids are not exactly going to be employed in a place like this. Yeah, she is an extremely powerful poison user, which we've already sort of described before, which is why both my characters are immune to poison. How would you know about that, Moko? You weren't even there. Like, technically you could have been, but you weren't even there. So, yeah. Everybody is really devoted to these characters. But these are the last lines of defense before we reach said characters. So, yeah. So let's just go with full firepower and we'll get going. So, Akame, like I said in the description of this team, she is the most luck-based of the fights, so if I'm going to lose a fight, it's going to be this one. And it's not necessarily because I don't have enough characters, because she can use 1000 needles whenever she pleases and basically kill anyone. Although, if I have in testing had it cast on me twice with Moko and she shielded it and she survived with like 50 HP. It did 300 and something damage and she'd taken a bit otherwise. On the first turn, Akame will always use a field spell that will boost poison power, and even though I'm immune to poison, I still kind of want rid of it because it means then she might cast it at a later turn and basically waste a move. She does 2 actions per turn, and she has a heal that heals her for like just under 2000 HP, and it dispels bad variety status, so don't bother trying to debuff this character. And basically she's a pain in the butt, but Fujiyama Volcano does around about 4000 per go, and is incredibly powerful. And it can sometimes double cast, and basically the idea with this fight is that you want to have double cast go as much as possible, and basically just blitz her with Fujiyama Volcano. And that's really the only strategy to this. But Private Square here will give Sakuya 3 turns by herself. There is no chance of missing when Private Square is in play, not that I have a chance of missing anyway, but just so you know in general, there is no chance of missing. Sakuya's cooldowns will keep going, like this will become 1 turn by the time we're done, but if Moko had any cooldowns, say if she used Flying Phoenix for whatever reason, that would not be counting down at the moment. She would still have to take a turn when she gets back up. Now, because my opponents cannot actually do anything right now, this is basically the time to spam Jack the Ripper. Sakuya really can't do a huge amount of damage in this fight, but she does some damage, and some damage is better than no damage. Basically, the idea is to try and get as many multi-hit moves in as possible here, get a decent chunk of damage down, and then just finish off everything with Moko. Another murder doesn't really do anything here. Power direction's okay, but the chance to hit twice is better. And essentially you just want to blast her down as quick as possible. And hope that she doesn't Thousand Needle you. Yeah, Mince Needle does magic down, so you don't really want to use magic attackers here as well. Like, they are not so good. Soul Sculpture and Fujiyama Volcano should be enough to win this, actually. Yeah, Fujiyama by itself is enough, so that's Akame. It's a bit of an annoying fight, but hey, Moko can take it down by herself so long as she doesn't get Thousand Needle. And that's why you need at least one other character in here, because the Devil Circle does give you added attack power, which is really important for Moko here. And yeah, that's all there is to that fight. Thankfully we didn't see Thousand Needles, but yeah, just know that it's a single target move that can do 1000 damage to anybody that it touches. So yeah, she lost. Too bad, no Stronghold yet. So apparently we don't know what type of yokai she is here, and Ocean Yokai with needles, Sea Urchin, yeah, I could see that. I think that line was supposed to be said by somebody else, but because I don't have enough members in the party at the moment, yeah. But we didn't even really find out what type of yokai she was. Too bad. Blowfish. Fun fact, when I killed this fight once, I had a glitch where this cutscene didn't really play properly, and we had basically already disappeared. There were no characters on screen, there was no text on screen, but I managed to skip through it enough, like the triggers were still there.